Today we are embarking upon a 3 days tour of Sundarbans from Kolkata. Sundarban is world's only mangrove tiger reserve. From Sialda, we ride in a train for about 75 minutes to reach Canning in South 24 Parganas. Outside Canning station, there are many options like bus and shared vehicles. Now we are crossing the Matla river. We travel about 28 km in 1 hour to reach Gad Khali. Gad Khali is situated on the bank of river Vidya, though there is a board declaring that a bridge is going to be constructed in 3 years from the year 2018. There is no bridge now and we could not find any sign of construction also, and therefore boats are the only option to reach Sundarbans. Here on our right there is a waiting room and we find many boats waiting for passengers. On the bank of the river we find a new boat is being constructed. After some time our boat reaches. This is a boat from WBTDCL which our resort has sent. We shall be staying at the WBTDCL's resort called Matla Tourism Property at Sajnekhali. This is a 2-deck boat. These are all motor boats, and here it has got tables, a number of chairs, wash basins and some other facilities on the upper deck. In the deck below there are some places for sleeping, for resting, and also there are 3 cabins which can easily accommodate 2 persons for a night, and there are bathing places, washrooms as well. Here there are a number of boats which carry all items, everything, to the other islands like Gosaba, Sajnekhali and all. The front part of the boats is worshipped. That is why it is not allowed to step on this golden part. On the opposite of Gadkhali, there is an island named Gosaba. Though we did not visit Gosaba this time, I shall show the place around from my past tours. This is Bekon Banglo. Nobel laureate Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore stayed here on 30th and 31st December 1932. This place has got 2 statues of Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore, and this wooden bungalow is very well maintained. There is a statue of Lord Buddha as well, and apart from this there is the bungalow of Sir Daniel Hamilton. He contributed immensely for the development of the villages of Sundarban. Here in the inset you can see how goods are transported and unloaded at Gosaba Island. We are passing the Gosaba Island. Children fishing from the river, and the way, the relaxed way in which they are sitting here tells us that there are no wild animals here. As water transport is the only mode of transportation here, so there are a number of small jetties like this in the villages. A few boats on the shore. Actually these boats are anchored here and they can come out on the river during the high tide only. Here you can see some nets installed just outside the forest. This lets us know that these are areas where the wild animals are there, and these nets are installed to prevent them from coming out to the river and also from reaching the localities. A part of Sundarban known as Sundarban National Park has been included in the World Network of Biosphere Reserves under the Man and the Biosphere Programme of UNESCO on 10th November 2001. Sundarban is spread across India and Bangladesh. The Indian part of Sundarban constitute its 40% only, while the Bangladeshi part of it constitute the rest 60%. The total area of the Sundarbans in the Indian part is 3,483 square kilometers, which is spread across South 24 Parganas and North 24 Parganas, both of which are adjacent districts of Kolkata. After cruising along the river for around 1 hour and 45 minutes, we have reached the Sajnekhali Wildlife Sanctuary where our resort is located. This is the entrance of the resort called Sajnekhali Eco-Tourism Complex. Inside we can see lots of greeneries with two water bodies on two sides. The resort is painted green, matching well with the forest where it is located. The place is pretty cool even in this summer, and with lots of trees. These are all Sundari trees, kind of mangrove. The roots can be seen, and this is the water body I was talking about. A special feature of this resort is that this resort has got its own watchtower, which is good enough for viewing the forest from the resort. Here is the view of the watchtower at its top. There is some place for sitting also. Here is the forest. As far as we can see, it's only the forest and nothing else. We can see the main watchtower of Sajnekhali, which is called the Sajnekhali Watchtower. Now we are going to climb on top of this watchtower. This is taller than the one which we have inside the resort. Lots of steps to climb. This is the view from the top of the main watchtower. We could see further. The forest is very dense here, and there are some water bodies near the watchtower. These water bodies are all filled with fresh water and not the river water, because the river water here is saline. In the scorching sun we could not find any animal here, but animals come here to drink water during early morning and late afternoon. This is a mangrove interpretation center. Here we saw some birds, but we came to know that the trees of Sundarban mostly do not bear edible fruits, or rather some of the fruits are poisonous as well. That is why the number of birds in Sundarban is not significant. These are some monkeys spending their time on the tree and enjoying their freedom, free from any sort of disturbance. On the second morning, we embark upon a day-long boat cruise of Sundarban forest. Today we shall cruise along the creeks to visit the Dobanki and Sudhanyakhali watchtowers. These ships, they mostly come from Bangladesh. They come to Kolkata to pick up fly ash and some other items. This is a fishing boat. These fishing boats, when they go for fishing, they go for 5 to 6 days at a stretch, and the fishermen carry their 5 to 6 days of food and other supplies. Now this is during high tide, so river water has entered into the forest. That is why we could not find any wild animals except these birds. This fruit hanging from the tree is called dhundul. The stalks are waiting for fish to catch. This tree in front of us is called golpata, used locally for thatching of roof. This place is a confluence of 5 rivers. In the bottom deck, in the foreground, you can see the engine of the boat which is propelling the boat, and in the background you can see the cooking place. Our lunch is also being cooked here, and these are the resting places. And on the left and right, here are the bathrooms. We have reached the jetty at Dobanki. To reach the watchtower here, we have to walk along this elevated walkway for around 500 meters. This walkway is situated above the forest. The entire area is fenced to secure the tourists from the attack of any wild animals. The place below is used as a mangrove nursery. We have reached the Watchtower and we climb on it to see the forest. Nearby there is a freshwater water body to attract wild animals. These are female spotted deers. These deers are always afraid of attack by wild animals. That is why they are always watching out for dangers. This is white-breasted kingfisher. This is jungle fowl. This is a temple of tiger god and Ma Bon Devi or Ma Bon Bibi. At this temple, both Hindus and Muslims worship and offer their prayer before entering the forest. Now we are leaving the Dobanki Watchtower. A new jetty has been constructed here, or I think it's still under construction. This tree is known as Gorgon tree. The stilt roots is its main characteristic. After cruising a short distance from this place, something happened for which we were not prepared. In an open place, a wild boar ran for its life and a big Royal Bengal tiger chased it ferociously. The wild boar ran inside the jungle and the Royal Bengal tiger ran behind it. Everything happened so fast that none in the boat could take any photo or video of the scene. Immediately, our boatman stopped our boat. We start waiting for the tiger to come out of the forest with its prey, or maybe in search of another prey. But it's quite some time that we are waiting here, but the tiger is not coming out. Rather, this spotted deer has come here and feeding on leaves of tree. From the horn of the deer, we can identify that it is a male deer. I think we have waited long enough for the tiger to come out, and now we should move ahead. Everyone on the boat is so excited that discussion about the scene is still continuing, and will probably continue for the rest of the day and also in the evening. The high tide is over, low tide has begun. That is why we can see some grasslands and bank of the river. We cruise by many more gorgon trees with their stilted roots clearly visible. These trees are called hital. The color of these trees is such that they make an ideal place for tigers to hide. In the inset, you can see the strong roots of the mangroves. In Sundarban, the only time for collecting honey from the forest is the month of April. When the honey collectors go to the forest, they go in a group of 8 to 10 persons, and they always go for a period of 15 to 20 days, carrying their supply for the entire duration. Now we have reached the Sudhanyakhali jetty. We shall proceed to the Sudhanyakhali Watchtower. Here also we see the temple of Tiger God and Bondevi. The watchtower is not far from this place. Our guide told us that every year when the villagers go for collecting honey, 8 to 10 persons lose their life due to the attack of the tiger. We have reached the watchtower. Climbing on it, we can see a freshwater body, and these are called observation channels created by cutting some trees so that the animals which come to the water body can be seen. Here is a jungle fowl, but we cannot find any other animal here. From Sudhanyakhali, we have cruised back to Sajnekhali. We shall spend the night here. Next morning at 9 a.m. we start our journey back to Gadkhali by the same boat. Our trip of Sundarban for 3 days is almost complete. We cruise for around 1.5 hours to reach Gadkhali. The duration of cruise depends on the tidal wave. From Gadkhali we shall go back to Kolkata in the same way as we came.